shop. And I'm like, yeah, I don't get it. I'm standing there with that apron on, those little sandwich baggy gloves. You'd think I'd be getting laid like that. It's not happening. So I always think the women are interested in me, but most of the time it turns out they're just hungry or lonely. Hungry and lonely. I get a lot of that. I try to be nice. I hand out little samples of our cookies, and I try to be nice about it. You know, sometimes the people are mean to me. I had a lady just the other day. She was mean. She was a lesbian, like Deb was talking about. And she said, "I don't like your cookies. They all have coconut, and I hate coconut." And I said, "And men, coconut and men, low on your list." Keep sometimes so I try to be nice to overweight people come by the cookie stand, you know, and I try to not make a big deal about it because my samples are small. I'm like, and they're always like, "No, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Oh, brother. And the best acting award goes to that lady right there for passing the cookie. Sometimes people give me shit about the flag is crap about the cookies. Sorry about that, homebrew. They give me, you know what, about the cookies. And because they're expensive, they're $6 a tub, and she's like, $6 for this little tub? This whole lady was giving me, you know, a bunch of flack, but she's $6 for this little tub. How long is this supposed to last me? I'm like, listen, it's got a 6-month shelf life, which is frankly 5 more than you even need. So once you beat it, so I can get over there and hit on the yogurt girl while I'm still young. I'm old and bitter and jaded. I'm sorry, I'm so mean. Honor you guys. I have a son. Wait, I don't want to talk about my son first. I want to talk about. I was recently on the road. I was in my hotel room in Chicago. I was watching it. That's the deal. I do it for the love of the game, man. I'm not in it for the money. I do it for the. That's why my cookies sell so well. I make them with my heart. And I was watching this special on movie producer Jerry Bruckheimer, and he says he doesn't do it for the money. And I thought, well, it's easy. With all due respect to Mr. Bruckheimer, it's easy for you to say that now. I don't know about Mr. Bruckheimer. Before I went on the road, I had to go to Ross Dress for Less to buy my underwear. And wear the good. I like the good chonies. I'm wearing underwear that's been rejected by Inspector Number 32, or possibly worse, returned by some other man who they were deemed undesirable to. But that's what I'm saying. If you were to drive over to Tahunga and look at my house and go over to Beverly Hills and look at Mr. Bruckheimer's house, you'd see who has more commitment to this cause. That's all I'm saying. I have a son, a young son. He's 26, just graduated from college a couple of years ago from Cal State University Humboldt up in Northern California. Have you guys heard of that school? It's kind of famous. A lot of agriculture up there. Also, they grow a little bit of the weed up there. I knew that before I sent my son up there, but I raised this kid. I figured he's got a good head on his shoulders. He can handle it. And I sent him up there in his last semester. He needs money for his tuition. He calls me up. He says, "Hey, Dad, this guy up there says if I bring these 2 pounds of pot down to Santa Barbara on the way down to see you, I can drop one of them off in Santa Barbara. We can do whatever we want with the other one." I'm like, no, don't do that. Come on, you're 23 years old. You're about to graduate from school. Ruin your life. Give me the guy's number. I'll drive up there myself because what the hell, I'm 51 years old. I sell cookies for a living. May or may not be wearing somebody else's underwear. Let's face it, a pound's a lot of pot. I mean, at my age, that could take me, and I'm not condoning its usage, by the way. I'm not, what is it, not when you're condoning, you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's good to do. But at my age, a pound's a lot of it. That could take me, like, right to the end when I die. When I die. The end of my life. Oh, you guys are fun. I mean that, too. It sounds insincere. I just have a few jokes I want to do. I watch too much television. I'm going to hell. That's what I'm going to do. I'm on my way to hell. There's no doubt about it. Thou shalt not. I've been thou shalt up a storm, you guys. I've been to covet, and somebody else's wife. It's horrible. I'm doomed. Yeah, I know. I'm off to hell. I've been thou shalt and up. I'm thou shalt left and right. Couldn't help it, you guys. I'm going to hell, so I figured out probably that most of the comedians are going to be there anyway, so I'll have company, you know. Richie definitely is probably there now. Just kidding. He's supposed to be here. I watch too much television. I watch these commercials. I get so engulfed and so involved in the commercial. It's like this one that's on. It's a Brinks home security commercial. It's our first night in the home, and there's a break-in. I'm like, Jesus, it's your first night in the home? There's a break-in? I'll tell you what, if that was it'd be my last night in the home. It's a break-in the first night. But they're all cool with it because they got Brinks security, and they cut back to the Brinks security control room. And I'm checking it out, and it's a bunch of good-looking guys. You know, they're pretty buff and in shape and stuff. A lot of control panels, monitors. They got their stuff together, it looks like. And I'm thinking, geez, you know, these guys are, you know, look like they got some skill. They look like they could get acting work, you know. Watching get too involved in the television. I love the commercials though. If anybody's seen, I like the Orkin commercial. Has anyone seen the Orkin commercial where the termites trying to get, thank you, termites trying to get into I like he's a pizza delivery, that's what I don't know. I was in Chicago and I was watching the news. I'm waiting for a pizza one time, and on the news it breaks into pizza man shot, and I'm like, oh Jesus, that's my thing. Who would get that mad to shoot a pizza? Sometimes I get pissed because they forget the napkins, you know. You got to use the towels in the motel bathrooms. But you know what? I know about termites. I've had termites before. I've never had them come to the door delivering a pizza. That's not their style. They like to come in through old wood, see. And that's why I like the commercial, because the poor termite's just trying to get some wood, and they chase him off, and the Orkin guy's so happy he actually has a piece of his limb. And then the termite takes off in this cool fixer-upper that he's working on. And it's cool. It just needs a little molding underneath the door, and then he's going to be done with it. I think that's why I feel for him. He's just an old guy. He's just trying to get some wood. Come on, it's wood. It's a cheap pun on what would be otherwise a punchline less joke. Yeah. So much work for like nothing. Nothing. I don't live out here. This is nice out here, San Dimas. I couldn't afford it out here. I live in Tahunga. Anybody here heard of Tahunga? You guys know? Yeah, you have, because you've heard me talk about it. Thanks. We don't have quite the art culture. There's probably not that much art there in all of Tahunga. Really talking down about Tahunga, considering I own property there. But it's not as nice as that. And that's just a wall and all. I don't even know what the art is, origin of the art. It might just all come from Target or Costco. But Tahunga doesn't have an art scene. I participated in one of the big events in Tahunga. It's called the annual Running with the Pit Bulls, which is, oh God, that's a big event. I'll never forget that. Well, also we got the Tattoo Festival. Thank you. I don't want you to run up to Tahunga and get any ink on my account, because frankly, there's been a rash of bad ink going around. That's the bottom line. And